let us continue with the yesterday's topic. We were discussing about Lewis structures, covalent bond formation we had seen. Okay, so today we'll continue with the same. Now, yesterday I was telling you about the formation of carbon monoxide molecule and nitric acid we had taken, nitric or sulfuric acid, any one acid we can take. So, for formation of carbon monoxide, let us see. Carbon valence electrons 4, oxygen valence electrons 6, total electrons 10 electrons or equal to 5 pairs of electrons. Okay, now CO, okay, one pair in between as usual, one as lone pair to both of them. Okay, so total 3 out of 5 pairs, 3 are gone. Okay, now remaining 2 more pairs are left. Those 2 more pairs, see, in this condition oxygen has 1 2 3 4, carbon has 1 2 3 4, octet of none of them is complete. So 4 are there, 4 more are needed. So 1 2 3 4, that is 2 pairs more we have kept in between. So now you can see oxygen 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, carbon 6 7 and 8, octet of both is completed. Okay, so this is the structure for carbon monoxide. C triple bond O and 1 1 lone pair with each of them. Okay, so this is for carbon monoxide. In this structure you can see, though in many structures we have seen, but in this structure you can see that carbon is actually supposed to have how many valence electrons? 4. But we see that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are placed on carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 2 as lone pairs and 3 as bond pairs. Okay. Similarly, in case of oxygen, you can see oxygen valence electrons are 6, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are only placed on oxygen. So they have shared the electrons in such a manner that octet of both of them gets completed. So if you divide the formal charges of these, then carbon will acquire charge -1, okay, and oxygen will acquire charge +1. So 1, whether we write or not, it doesn't matter. So minus and plus, because it has 1 extra and it has 1 less. That is why on molecules, when in books sometimes they are written, you find sometimes charge separation like this. Okay, so these are formal charges which are present. Okay, then same for any acid. When we talk about acids, then in this acid HNO3, I told you that when acids are there, H has to be taken connected to O, because these acids, not all acids, for example hydrochloric acid is simple acid, so there is no problem in making structure for this. But in case of acids where oxygen and hydrogen both are present, those acids are known as oxa acids. In all these acids like nitric acid, sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid, okay, in all these acids, oxygen means hydrogen is connected through oxygen to the central atom. Directly it is not connected until oxygen is available. Okay. So if for HNO3 we have to make a structure, then what will be there? Nitrogen is less electronegative, so it will act as central atom. Now oxygen, how many? 3 oxygen, 1, 2, any 3 sides we can make out of 4 sides available, and 1 hydrogen we have to connect any one side of the oxygen, either this side or this side or this side, any side we can select. This manner first we will arrange the number of atoms which are available in acid. hydrogen should be connected through O. Okay, then one bond. Now total calculation of number of pairs available. First thing. Nitrogen, valence electrons 5, oxygen 6 into 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, that is equal to 18, and hydrogen is 1. So 5, 18 plus 5, 23 plus 1, 24, 24 electrons. Now we have 24 electrons is equal to 12 pairs, because they will be always present in pairs for the bond formation. Okay, so 1, let us change the color so it is clearly visible. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 we have distributed as bond pairs. Now let us give one lone pair also. We cannot give lone pair to hydrogen. Why? Because hydrogen does not have its octet. It only completes its duplet. So its duplet is already completed. So we will not give to this. Let us start with the oxygen. 1. Okay. Then 1 and 1. I am not giving in this case to nitrogen also. Though I can give. But later on I will have to shift it. That is why I am not giving. Why to avoid this? Because when nitrogen or any central atom is surrounded by so many atoms, then there are chances that its octet will be naturally completed without the presence of a lone pair of electron. Okay, so first we avoid giving it, because if the number of pairs are less, then we have to make a double bond also any one side. Clear? So first we have distributed how many pairs? Let us see. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6, and 1, 7. Minus 7. So now we are left with 5 pairs. 7 are used, 5 more are left. So now distribute the remaining 5 pairs to complete octet of each one. Hydrogen is already done. Let us see now. In case of this, if we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it has, we can give 1 to this. So its octet is complete, this oxygen. Minus 1, 4 pairs are now left. Okay. Now to this, if we see 1, 2, 3, 4 only. So it requires 2 pairs more to complete its octet. Minus 2. So we are left with only 2 pairs now. Now if only 2 pairs are left, then if I put 2 pairs like this, 1 pair and second pair, then octet of this oxygen is complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But octet of nitrogen will remain incomplete. Okay, or instead of this, if I put it this side, if I put it this side as a lone pair, then also octet of this oxygen will remain incomplete. Okay, so what we will do, we will put it as a shared pair double bond. Okay, so now you can see octet of all is complete. This is complete, this is complete, and this with 2 shared pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and nitrogen also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And because as a whole HNO3 is neutral, so this manner its structure is completed. N double bond O, single bond O, single bond O and H. Okay, wherever there is single bond, we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, because one bond this side, one bond this side. Okay, and for nitrogen it's completed. So this is bond line structure. When you are showing the bond with the help of line, this is electron dot structure. When you are making the bonds also with the help of electron dots, so this is electron dot structure, or this is Lewis structure. Okay, so when Lewis structure is asked to made, you will draw this structure with dots, bond shown as dots, and this is bond structure. When bond structure is made, lone pairs are to be shown. Okay, lone pairs you will have to show, and bond you will make by showing lines. Okay, so this is for nitric acid. Similarly, you can make for other molecules also, and this can be asked for other molecules also. It is not so that as many we have discussed, these only can be asked. Okay, so you have to practice them. For sulfate you can write down. Sulfate you will practice SO4 2 negative, how to make it. Nitrate you will practice NO3 1 negative, note it down and you will draw it on your own. Okay, CO2 carbon dioxide you will make, how to draw its structure you will do it, and if you want to get it checked by me you can send to me on WhatsApp. Okay, I will see whether it is correct or not. Okay, more 2-3 more you can take to complete. Nitric acid we have done. Write sulfuric acid, draw the structure for sulfuric acid also. Carbonate we have already done. Okay, so these few molecules you practice more. Now in this structure, if you just want to calculate the formal charges, can you calculate? If I label this as oxygen atom number 1, 2 and 3, and nitrogen and hydrogen are only 1, 1. So nitrogen formal charge, hydrogen formal charge, and oxygen atom number 1, oxygen atom number 2 and oxygen atom number 3. Let us see, do they have any formal charge or not? Okay, so hydrogen does not have formal charge, okay, because it has 1 electron and 1 only is present on it, so 0. Let us see for nitrogen also. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nitrogen has 5 valence electrons and we are showing only 4 present on, no, this oxygen, okay, this is separate. Yes, so it is having only 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it has 5 valence electrons and 4 only are present. That means it has formal charge of +1. Electron is less, charge is plus. Oxygen atom number 1, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 1 extra, -1. Oxygen atom number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0. Third oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 0. Okay. So only 2, oxygen atom number 1 and nitrogen has formal charge as +1 and -1. Okay. That means what? Oxygen atom number 1 means what? Oxygen atom in nitric acid which is neither connected by double bond nor connected to H will bear the formal charge, because it's not necessary that it is labeled as 1. Some of you when you draw an exam can draw it like this, and double bond O this side, single bond OH this side and O this side. Any side you can make double bond. Only we have to remember is this, that out of 3, 1 will be connected to H, 1 will be connected by double bond and 1 will be connected by single bond. So the one which is connected by single bond is having, oxygen atom number 1 connected by single bond is having formal charge as -1. Okay. Okay, now after this, though this Lewis concept explains the formation of large number of molecules, but still this has certain limitations. It could not explain, this Lewis concept of covalent bond formation could not explain the formation of certain molecules. In which manner it could not explain? It could not explain that according to this Lewis-Langmuir concept, octet of every molecule should be complete, then only that molecule can be stable. But there were certain examples already existing in nature. where the octet was not complete, but still those molecules were known. If they are known, that means they are stable. Some molecules are formed in nature on their own and they are stable. They are stable, then only they are existing. So even when their octet was not getting completed, then also they were stable. So this could not be explained with the help of Lewis-Langmuir concept, that even they are not completing their octet, maybe extra more than octet, maybe less than, but they are not having exact octet in them, then also those were stable. So these were the exception of Lewis concept. So now we will come to the next point, that is exceptions of Lewis-Langmuir concept. Okay, either simply Lewis concept also is written, then also you have to write these exceptions only. There were total 3 type of exceptions available to Lewis-Langmuir concept. The first was incomplete molecules with incomplete octet. There were certain molecules whose octet was not complete, but still they were existing and they were stable. For example, BeCl2, for example AlCl3. These molecules are stable ones, but their octet is not complete. If we see the structure of these molecules, we'll see they exist like this: aluminium as a central molecule atom, chlorine atoms like this, this was the structure for AlCl3. How we made it? Aluminium, we know that aluminium is 13, atomic number 13, distribution is 2, 8 and 3. So valence electrons are 3. So 1, 2 and 3 valence electron it was having in the structure. Along with that, chlorine atomic number is 17. So 2, 8 and 7. So valence electrons were 7. 7 were placed like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7th this side for all chlorine atoms. Now see, in all the molecules which we were making just now, we were making Lewis covalent bond structure by just doing the total of valence electrons and then distributing them equally. But that we have done according to the structure which are observed. See, molecules are not the logical things which we can make. It does not follow the logic of mathematics, that if this formula applies to this, then this same formula will apply to another question also. In case of chemistry, what is there? The things which are existing already, they are studied and then theories are developed to understand or explain why do they exist in such manner. So there are difference between the things. Clear? So in case of the Lewis concept which we were seeing, how we come to know that which type of bond is existing here? Spectroscopy is a technique by which it is known that whether the bond present between the two atoms which are forming the bond is a double bond, because the length of double bond, single bond is fixed. This is known as bond length. Okay, bond length between two depends on what we have already discussed, atomic radius. So if atomic radius of a particular atom is this, and the other atom which is combining is having some value, when bond length is there, that means when the two make a bond, they overlap, and what should be the expected length of the bond between the two atoms. This helps us to know the value of whether the bond between them is a single bond or a double bond or a triple bond. Okay, so we don't decide that this will make a single bond, why chlorine is not sharing with this and making it double bond. No, we cannot do. What it exists in nature, that we have to study through the techniques and understand its explanation, that why it exists like this. So for aluminium AlCl3, when it was studied, it was found that all the bonds which aluminium was making with chlorine were all single bonds, not any bond was double bond, nor it was a triple bond. So when structure is like this, you can see that aluminum has 1, 2, 3 electrons of its own, valence electrons, and remaining 3, 1, 2 and 3, it was sharing with chlorine. So the central atom aluminum is having only 6 electrons, but still it is a highly stable structure. So there are exceptions which do not follow octet rule, then also those molecules are stable. So this was the structure which was explained as an exception of Lewis-Langmuir concept for AlCl3, similarly for BeCl2 and similarly for LiCl2 also. Okay, so these type of molecules which are formed have incomplete octet, still they are stable. So this could not be explained with the help of Lewis concept. Clear? Now second type of exceptions. Second type of exceptions were odd electron molecules. There were certain molecules studied with the help of spectroscopy technique in which the central atom was having octet also incomplete, as well as the number of electrons present on it was odd. Odd means generally we see that electrons are present in pair. When they are making bond, that time also they will be in pair because sharing is taking place. When there is lone pair of electron, then also they are present in pair. But there were certain examples which were found they were not having pairs, odd electron was present, and Rajvardhan, it's too late to join. Rajvardhan, sorry means what? What you will get 10? It is 10:07. What you will understand in the topic? Tell me.
Ma'am, it was network error.
Okay.
Sorry.
Odd electron molecules. So the central atom, we will see two examples, NO and NO2. Okay, these are two molecules which are example of odd electron molecules. So formation of NO, nitrogen, valence electrons 5, oxygen valence electrons 6. Okay, so that is 11 electrons. 11 electrons, it's clearly visible on its own that these will not form pairs. That means we can say we have 5 pairs. 10 electrons will make 5 pairs plus 1 extra electron is present. Okay, so now let us see here nitrogen, oxygen, 1 bond pair, 1 lone pair, 1 lone pair. Out of 5 pairs I have distributed 3. Okay, now 2 pairs more are left and I have to complete the octet of both of them. 2 pairs and 1 extra electron is still left. Okay, so let us see those 2 pairs how we can divide so that 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 pair I will place this side, 1 pair I am placing there. So all 5 pairs are distributed. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1 extra electron is left. Okay. Octet of oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. It's complete. Now that 1 extra electron is placed with nitrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Nitrogen is not having 8 electrons. Still the structure is like this. It exists like this and it is stable. So octet is not complete and these are odd electron molecules with stable configuration. Still not following octet rule. Okay. In some books even you see, not in your textbook, but in other book if you see this electron can be shown making this side. Okay. This is called 3 electron bond. So it's not, that is also not wrong if it is placed this side, and if it is placed this side, it is the more accurate way to show it. Okay. So this is one example. Second example again is NO2. Just looking at the molecule, you can understand that again it will have odd number of electrons. Because oxygen is 6, 6 2s are 12 plus nitrogen 5. So that will be again 17 electrons, again odd electron, and central atom nitrogen again here will not have its octet complete. So do I need to explain it? NO2? Should I make it structure or you yourself will make it? Anyone? Any answer? Can you
take it?
Yes. You try it, okay? You will be able to do it. Okay. So these are example of odd electron molecules. I will move to the third exception. Third type of exception is expanded octet molecules, where the molecules have more than 8 electrons. Molecule means the central atom we are talking about. The central atom has more than 8 electrons, but still those molecules are stable ones. Okay. Example is PCl5, SF6. These are examples of expanded octet. Now we will see one example. Explanation of PCl5 we will see. PCl5, phosphorus, atomic number is 15, distribution is 2, 8 and 5. Okay. See, still when we know 1s2, 2s2 distribution, it is easier to divide the electrons by following the old pattern. 2, 8, 5. Now by distributing like this, I can easily identify that these electrons should go in third number of shell. This is for first shell, this is for second shell, and this should go in third shell. So I can easily write 3s2, 3p3. So it is easy with the help of this to know the outer configuration. When 3s2 is full, that means already 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 is already full. So I need not to write that. Simply I come to know that it is 3s2, 3p3. Clear? So that is why I always write like this, 2, 8 and 5 to know the outer configuration. Clear? So it is 3s2, 3p3, 5. Okay. Now chlorine, atomic number is 17. So it is 2, 8 and 7. So valence electrons are 7. Clear? Now for the structure when it was studied, because there are 5 chlorine atoms, Cl, 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 Cl and 5th Cl. Okay, 5 Cl were present surrounding the phosphorus, and phosphorus has 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 electrons of phosphorus were present, and with chlorine 1, and 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This one bond. Oh, this is left. This was the structure of PCl5 when it was studied, and it was found that phosphorus is having all bonds single with chlorine. That means they are sharing only one electron. And when you count, chlorine is completing its octet all the sides, 6th, 7th and 8th electron. But phosphorus, if you see, 5 electrons of its own and 5 it has bonded to with chlorine. That means the phosphorus is having 10 electrons on it located, bonded to 10 electrons. 5 of its own and 5 from each one from each chlorine, sharing with chlorine atoms. So the central atom has expanded octet, okay, with 10 electrons instead of 8, but still this molecule is a stable molecule. So these are exceptions to octet rule. For SF6 also you can draw, you will find that sulfur is having 12 electrons. Sulfur will be the central atom bonded to 6 fluorine, and it will have 12 number of electrons placed on it, again not following the octet rule. Okay, so when any such thing happens in a theory, this theory was given by, when molecules were studied, I just told you just before that when molecules were studied and they were found to make double bond, triple bond or single bond, then theories were given by scientists to explain the formation of those. Those theories may be correct, may not be correct. Until a new theory comes, the previous old theory is considered to be correct. So the first theory which was given by Lewis Langmuir was this only, that how the formation of these bonds have taken place. So they followed this method, that they had done the total of valence electrons and then distributed them in such a manner to complete their octet. But because there were these molecules which we have seen just now, 3 type of exceptions, they could not be explained with the help of Lewis Langmuir concept. So another scientists were working on it, how that these bond formations have taken place. So the next theory which came into existence after this was valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, or VSEPR theory in short it is called, that we will take in next class. Before we start with the next theory, there are several small points, or you can say terms, which are related, which you should understand, that we need to discuss. So we have some time. So first, this theory is over. Okay, this theory is over. Its exceptions also we have discussed. Now we are coming to some small terms which are more often used in chemistry. So those terms we have to be familiar with. So we are coming to those terms. We will take 2 terms today. One is lattice enthalpy, and second term I will take bond enthalpy. Okay, why I have taken these 2 terms together, I will explain you. We had done in the first chapter, if you remember, we had written molecular mass. Let me write it, molecular mass here, molecular mass, and we have written formula mass. I told you that time that there is no difference between molecular mass and formula mass if we are concerned with the method of finding it. The method for finding molecular mass and formula mass is the same. What it is? Just doing the total of atomic masses of the elements present in the molecule and finding its mass. Same is there with this. Bond enthalpy term is a common term which is used for all type of molecules, and lattice enthalpy is a term which is used for ionic compounds, as formula mass term is used only for ionic compounds. Same way, lattice enthalpy will be using for ionic compounds which form lattice crystal. They are present in the crystalline structure because they have strong bonds present in them. So because of the presence of those strong bonds, what happens is this, that they are never present in isolation. They are always present in group. Lattice, they form a crystalline structure. So the term will be lattice enthalpy, and simply if we talk about, then it is bond enthalpy. So what is bond enthalpy? Bond enthalpy is, there is a bond, suppose I talk about a bond between hydrogen and chlorine, HCl. So the amount of energy required whenever a bond is to be broken between the two, energy is supplied. Okay, we have to supply energy. So the amount of energy required to break a bond between the bonded atoms to convert them into gaseous ions is known as lattice or bond. First we talk about bond enthalpy. Okay, so this is the amount of energy which is required to break a bond between 2 bonded atoms to convert them into gaseous ions. And if this definition is given for a ionic compound, that is NaCl is example of ionic compound. NaCl will not be present in the form of NaCl, it will be present in the form of crystal of NaCl. So the amount of energy required to break a bond between a ionic bonded compound to convert into gaseous ion is known as lattice enthalpy. Okay, so